Yes.
I know you are giving me too many things to
You would
respond.
have already come in. That's fine. Thanks. I really want you to talk on that area.
So there is no disagreement in resistance. All the champions of resistance who have shared their thoughts and written their thoughts down and distributed them around the world, they always align. When two resistors meet and they are authentic, there is no disagreement because they speak the same thing. When you find people disagree, there is something wrong, and that needs to be dealt with patience, of course, because sometimes someone would have been convinced at a certain level but does not understand another level. But once you truly understand it, there is no disagreement. So I don't know where you get this thing of people being excluded. The resistance is not selective. You find in politics, the leaders always want to be the source of the solution. But in resistance, the source of the solution is in the people. Whoever is championing the idea always want everyone to be on the same page, which is why revolutions are educational. People talk, people conversate, and people share what they know to develop each other, to get to a collective consciousness. That is where the revolution starts. Now, the part you spoke about negotiations, there is no negotiations in the sense that people understand negotiation when you are removing a dictator or authoritarian regime. The only sort of negotiation which is done is called a negotiated exit. What you are just discussing is which path are you taking, either a one-way prison or another free passage to the nearest board, either the airport or the border post, to forever live in exile and never be dealt with in that country. There is no other negotiation. There is no asking for this or getting that in return, or we are now at this stage, give us this, give us, here is our mandate. No, you dismantle the system because you understand how that system is supported. And you need to understand that it's part of resistance to know exactly where power, what you call authority, is drawn from, and then you dismantle those things. And when people realize that, everything that has been supporting us has been dismantled here, sometimes others they don't even wait to ask for for a negotiated exit. They just flee to never be seen again. So it's very clear, and we can get there through conversation, like what we always do here. And we might even get there slowly by debating each other and saying you are right, you are wrong. But we can get there quicker if everyone chooses to do their homework, just research about it, find out what other people have discussed before, what people have documented. Because when you speak, you just speak. But when you are putting things down on paper, you have to think your sentences through to make sure that the person who is not there when they are reading it and you can't defend your thought, it is very clear. So you choose your words correct. So that's the best way of communication that this world has come up with. So it's going to be easier if people, instead of saying this doesn't exist, this will never work, to just go there and find out exactly how does it work and how it doesn't work because you understand it. People disagree with these things from a point of just thinking with their experience and knowledge thus far. But to find out what it stands for truly and then disagree it from a point of knowledge, people can't do that. They will just disagree and say, no, this it doesn't. There's nothing like that. And then you explain how do you mean? Why would you say it doesn't work? If you can't explain how it works and its limits, then you can't disagree with it. Understand it first, and then say this part, this part, this part, nonsense. And people will be like, never saw it like that. Thank you so much. Well done. I will quit on this because it's nonsense. You have proven it to me. But nobody wants to do that. They will just say the whole thing is nonsense. It won't work. It has never worked. It's a lie. It's okay. You can convince yourself, but you won't convince somebody who has done their homework.
I think it's fair. Let's allow Steve to come through.
Sorry, to be honest, I don't have much ready. Probably most important to say here. Can you hear me proper? Sorry, where I am is a little bit noisy. Can you hear me?
You are faint. Just increase your volume, maybe, or get your mic closer.
Is there anyone speaking, guys?
I think he
Are
is
you done
proper.
with your conversation with ONGAP?
No, I chose deliberately to get somebody to come through, but
Okay,
Ongab is around, so
okay,
we can
okay.
continue
Let's
to
go
discuss.
straight to.
Ongab, don't leave, please.
Okay, let's go to Steve K. Then I think two boys raising his hand also. I'm Koma
Steve has
champion
an
more
open
request.
mic. Steve has an open mic. I think he's fixing something. I'd already given him the floor.
Steve K, are you there? Steve K is not them. Two boy, go ahead. Then we go to Mclean.
More on gap. I think I'm not going to answer question at all. Anodiwa. Anodiwa, at what point should we engage with the army? At what point or at what stage are we going to sit down and engage with the army? And sometimes, if I'm not talking about my question marks, I guess, be nice. And if I'm not talking about my question marks, that book of resistance, if the type of operation that we have been used 9 days or 8 days, it is not the same type of operation that is being used now. The operation has changed. Look at how Mugabe used to do it, and look at how it is do it. So that was Siana. So if you're gonna keep using the same old strategies into nowadays issues, it will not work. So I find a good engine power so that we single up one that's why or 120 that's why. The good engine jet. He starts jet. Aimuke. So strategy yakashanda kudhara. Nowadays, these detectors want to improve on foot how to oppress people. ED maybe akatoverenga bhuku rachino akatita muma strategies kuti vakauya vakadai so nichavhara gap. But the question of at what stage do we have to inquire? Not for sacrifice we have to negotiate with the army, but what are you putting on the table to negotiate with the army? Ukauya panapo chitama ufuda kutenga motikari yenyu ndotisaka waya newe ngokuti andangoya kuzonegotiata chete. Doesn't make sense. Sometimes what we have got to do as citizens, we have to negotiate with our own blood. We put the blood on the table. Then we negotiate. And that's the only way out. But vanhu vakuiziva way, but vanhu vangoita magwana chete. That's the only way to take a dictator out, one my friend. Ndokuti havana kuita coup kangoti muzomubisa nema-elections kane nane violent resistance. It will not work, my brother. Apa tokoda kuti muzwa chitaka patable. Moti chiya tichinegotiate. And something horrible it has to happen in Zimbabwe kuti madhara yamaise patable. Pakasongota something chiri nasty, hamutombogona kuadrega patable. Anyway, thank you guys.
Yeah, we have new speakers. It's
Okay,
encouraging.
let me just answer that one. So the
I
point,
think Ongab,
okay,
wait. Get maybe two speakers so that we allow others that are raising their hands to come in. But those
no, but you was bringing a question that I didn't address when you spoke about it. That's why I just wanted to go ahead.
yeah, okay. If you think that is the way to go, then go ahead.
Yeah, I'll be quick. So at what point uh, do these people come to the table? They are, I'm sure you've heard about the pillars of power. and the military and the police fall under what is called human resources, which is there to support whatever the authoritarian leader is trying to achieve. Now, the way you dismantle that is when your actions prove to what you call to them that we've been defending this guy and it's now becoming too expensive for us to defend him. In what sense? In the sense that you are the ones who are executing the beating. You are the ones who is kidnapping people. You are the ones who is killing people. And because this appeals to the human being, they will get to a point where they say, why are we doing all this with our own hands just to defend this one person? So you get to that point by pushing through the different methods that are stipulated of protesting. So that's I don't know if that makes sense. How you attack that pillar of power.
But then you are fighting to remove 1% off. We are fighting to eradicate the whole
No,
system.
you're
We are
attacking the system.
what we are
So
fighting
the
for, Mofu. We are not asking for favors from the army guys to remove one guy. We want to remove that guy, and with all the generals that were corrupt. So the whole system kutodzura muti wachona
exactly
wese nemashizha wachona wese totokanda panzi tobatidza moto.
that that's why I said that, because in that system it's a command structure where somebody gives the instruction, go to the streets and do this, and then the person who is exercising that repression is the one who says, no, but I can't do this because I've been doing this for 2 weeks and these people keep coming back. For how long is their blood going to be on my hands and continue to do the same thing? And yet you are not the one who's doing it. So that's how that system crumbles on its own. Because even there are so many cases of fierce dictators like Hitler, where their commands themselves were not followed. They tell people, go into that city and do that. And the people, when they get there, they don't do that. Some of them run away. So that's how that happens. We are not attacking the one person. It's the system that crumbles on its own, where orders are no longer being followed, which brings back to the other pillar of power, which is consent. Because when the people refuse to consent to your orders, the people inside the system themselves will refuse as well to follow the consent from those orders that are given. And when the big guys at the top, they see whatever we are commanding people to do is not happening, they try to save themselves and sacrifice whoever they can sacrifice. Then they propose the negotiating table. And you should be ready for them to say, Wena, what you are negotiating for is your way out. We'll deal with you, life in prison because of what you did, or if it's somebody who hasn't done much, leave the country. So I don't know if that makes sense. I'm trying to be as short as possible.
For the debate to move on, I can say to a lesser extent, was I'll keep on asking questions and it won't be fair on other people. Let's just agree to disagree right now. Because what you are suggesting, Mofu, you are still giving people who you want to negotiate with, you still give them some options. But by the time you give them those people options, you are trying to say they still get a little bit of power. And it will be very, very difficult to negotiate with someone with some power. Don't trust anyone with power.
Exactly, we agree there.
Let's move forward. I think
That's why
there is
whatever they
another guy
propose,
saying in the world is in the hands. I think I will ask, or maybe in the share inbox, then to my strategies and shanda and shortcut.